Head out. He should be going live momentarily. So we are going to be starting in just a little bit. Alright, looks like some of the games are going up. I'm going to be watching this game to start with. So we do have deck lists for this. So let's go ahead and take a look at the deck list. So for Osan, we have Lucky Clover Crane. I don't really know what that means, but it's lucky, right? So there's 18 holdings. There's a lot of holdings. I mean, these are all very good holdings, of course. Well, maybe not this one. Well, this one has Rally, so this doesn't really matter. For the rest, though, we have like QAnon and the Cunning Negotiator, who also has Rally. So 9 Rally cards here. I think it's basically just looking for a QAnon. Is the goal of this deck. So Takamori, Masterpiece Painter, Kaizen, Doji Challenger, Daidoji Netsu. Man, this is crazy. There's no low drops in this deck besides the Netsu. And otherwise, I think you're literally just looking for QAnon. So this might be trouble against Crab. Just some standard duel stuff over here. We have the 1x Favorable Alliance and Dragon Tattoo. Dragon Tattoo is a pretty cool card when it comes to dueling because it lets you trigger some of these effects twice. Most notably, Policy Debate. And stuff like Way the Crane, and you can maybe do Return to Defense too. Not that you need to, but it helps you trigger your Proving Ground at least. Meanwhile, on the Crab side, let's see. I guess I've started already, but let's take a look at the deck list real quick. It's Nobody Expects the Spanish Inquisition 2 Void Fist Edition. So this is a Void Fist deck out of Crab. So we have our monks here. We have our Croony Silencers. The Butcher of the Fallen is not a monk, unfortunately, but we have some neat cards. Basically, just looking to help you Void Fist people. I am surprised that there are no seals here. I guess you can't really fit the seals if you want to get the let goes too. But yeah, no Way of the Crab. So actually, this is actually kind of perfect for playing against or for Osan at least. So let's go ahead and take a look at the match. The match has started. So the first buys here, we're going to have QAnon come out on 1 Fate. That is ambitious, I guess. I guess you're really committed to not losing a Void Ring here, or let's take a look at the province row real quick, and there's no defend the wall, so you don't have to worry about that portion. On the other side, we have Steadfast Witch Hunter and a Kaiju Envoy. So this is going to be 2 attacks for Pablo this turn, or at least an attack and defense. Kita Dojo is pretty sweet. Doesn't really do much against Crab in this situation. Osan will pass his first conflict opportunity. Here's conflict at Meditations on the Tau. Kumonon's going to defend. We're probably going to see a return to defense here. Yeah. There it is. No Proving Ground though to let him actually buy again. What did he have in the discard? So he had... Oh, he Seasoned Award. Okay. So I guess he Seasoned Award. This Iron Mine, the Shuichi, and the Vanguard Warrior. So that's pretty good. Return defense, gonna let him stand QAnon and honor him as well. He's probably not gonna attack again this turn. So again, kind of risky proposition here. Good morning, Jason. This would be quite the nickname to have stick here. Alright, I'm trying to tab back to the game. I can't really get back. Okay. Alright, so this turn 2, wow, he did find a QAnon tooth. So maybe this is why this is called the Lucky Clover, because you just sort of pray for QAnon dupes the entire time. The only problem is that he's still on a 2-turn clock for QAnon right now. I guess he does have that province, the Pledge of Loyalty, which will let him save Kuanon if you can flip it over. Meanwhile, we do see a monk for Pablo. And he also has 2 keepers in his bin right now. Quesada comes out as well. It would be pretty sick if you could have a seal here, so you can have Quesada as a monk. Quesada void fisting people sounds terrifying. SYG? No, the splash is Dragon Splash. So this, let's see. The splash was Dragon Tattoo, Let Go, and I think that was. I don't want to say that was it. Let me actually just look at it real quick. No, that's it. It's 2 Dragon Tattoo and 3 Let Go. It is kind of good stuff dueling, Jason, but it's also a little strange because there's no conflict characters, and Dragon Tattoo obviously is quite different. But otherwise, yes, it is pretty much a standard duel package. But the Dynasty side, I think, is the real interesting part of this deck. It is very focused on finding Kuanon. Let's see. So conflict phase here for Balthus. Balthus is thinking, I guess. He has 2 fate left over, so he's going to go ahead and let go of the Subterranean Guile, so that way Quesada does not have covert. It's a very amusing kind of proposition, thinking of, I guess, Quesada being this like giant man-bear person being led by a little rat down a tunnel. It's very very epic fantasy type adventure. Alright, so we are going to see a conflict here. Definitely some choices to be made. I think meditation is a pretty safe bet, though. Going to meditations here, Quesada has 3 fate. I think this game will not last to the point where Quesada losing another fate will matter that much. And you're crap too, right? Where you do have an Iron Mine. This deck is not on rebuild, I don't believe. Let's also take a look at that. No, it is on rebuild. Okay, yeah, so you can rebuild the Iron Mine whenever, and you'll be fine. Alright, so we do see the conflict here. Favorable ground will move Quesada home. Oh yeah, and you're also protected by Quesada ability. So no return to the defense that time to actually stand the Kuanon back up. We'll see a political water conflict here at the Fertile Fields. This will be able to stand Kuanon. And we'll probably see a Quesada defense here too. I mean, they both have the same political stat here, so it's not really going to be heavily impacted either way. I think you just defend with whoever you probably want to end up putting more political type attachments on. So Fan goes on to the Masterpiece Painter here. That'll be a break if nothing else from Pablo. Trying to deal with some admin stuff real quick. Alright, so yeah, so we do get a break here. We're going to go ahead and discard that card. And Kuanon's going to be back standing. Now the Witch Hunter can attack again into Meditations. One of the unfortunate parts is that we already burned the the Meditations on activating Quesada, which I guess not the greatest thing in the world, since Quesada just favorable grounded out anyway. So actually, it might have been better for Baltus to go ahead and save that, since he was already winning the conflict, right? I think whenever Quesada attacked, that was 7-9. Yeah. So he probably should have just passed and then just won the conflict, so that way Quesada would have been off. Alright, so policy debate here. Let's see Pablo's hand. We have Bonsai, double Court Games, double Fight On. Fine Katana, J Tetsubo, Let Go, double Reprieve, Subterranean Guile, and Mountain and Void Fist. So the J Tetsubo actually maybe slightly problematic right now. Kuanon obviously very big. He's at a 12 as opposed to Quesada at a 7. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of the Let Go. We're going to policy debate again with the power of Dragon Tattoo. So we got rid of the Let Go last time. I think this time he's probably looking to get rid of either maybe, I would say probably go for the Mountain or go for one of the Tetsubos. Especially if you already have Let Go of your own. You played one already. There are 2 more remaining for Balthus. He picked a Fight On. Okay. Oh, he has another policy debate. All right, so you can. I guess you can only do this one time, since you already used the reaction on the Dragon Tattoo. Alright, so all the Fight-Ons are now gone. That's pretty sweet. That means that Balthus, if he has a return to defense here, will be able to sneak in and probably break another one of these provinces. I would probably aim for this Butcher of the Fallen. Yeah, there's the return to defense. So there is a Court Games here. Oh, we already did political, so yeah. So this is going to be a military attack. And we're going to go Military Earth. We hit Shameful. Pretty sweet, because there's no defenders. And the Fight-Ons are gone. and there are no conflict characters in Pablo's hand, so he's gonna have to pass here. So free break on Shameful here, pretty good for Balthus. He gets to draw a card, discards the Fine Katana at random. Probably the weakest card that he could have discarded there, besides maybe the Court Games. But nonetheless, he is up now 2 breaks. And time to pray for another Kuanon dupe, which he finds. OMG, says Pablo. So we are seeing the power of 9x Rally. So Kuni Silencer comes out for Pablo. He passes here because he has 2 Jade Tetsubos in hand and he needs to be able to play them. So that's 2 policy debates down. He could have a 3rd one. No Proving Grounds yet for Balthus. I think if he had a Proving Ground out, he would probably be running away with this game. Not that he already isn't. He's already in a very commanding position. We have a reprieve on this Witch Hunter here too, so that'll stick around for a little while. But still nothing to sacrifice, so Pablo's going to have to draw a conflict character here. He does have a good number of them, I think. Oh, I need to update the stream title. Thank you, Asterin. Oops, let's see that I can put in. There we go. Alright, thank you so much, Astron, for that reminder. I always forget to do that. Jason saying, so lucky and isn't even playing Frog. Yeah, I mean, you don't need to play Frog. I think he probably values the other provinces more that you can get in those 2 elements. So Shameful and Upholding are probably both mega good as opposed to just running something for a little bit extra consistency. Alright, we're going to have a Katana come out on Kisada. He is still not bigger than Kuanon, who is at 12 right now. So even with a J-Tetsubo here, he will be up to 12 exactly. So we're going to need to see one more attachment to go on Kisada. I think he has a Subterranean Guile, so that would probably do it. Dragon Tattoo is restricted, so... Alright, so Balthus' turn to attack here. He's going to go in with the Kuanon. I don't... Oh, no, okay. He's thinking about it again. Going to send the Masterpiece Painter first in on Political to scout. So, we do know that Pablo does have a Void Fist in hand, and he does have a Monk out now, right? So, this Masterpiece Painter is going to go in and hit Upholding Authority. That's kind of rough. But Pablo definitely in a situation where he needs to think about defending it because otherwise Balthus would be on Stronghold, and that would be real feels bad for him. So one of the good things about Masterpiece Painter is that she is she's a good burner actually for Quesada. So if you need to burn that Quesada thing, you can just go ahead and use her ability. So we are going to see defense here. This is still breaking, FYI. I think, right? Yeah. So we're gonna get a mountain on the Kuni silencer. Could see a voice here. We haven't seen a cancel yet from Baltus, so we know he has voice and defend your honor out, or at least in this deck. Alright, so yeah, there's the Masterpiece Painter to burn the Casada. Court Games will honor the Kuni Silencer. That would be 2 cards, and so we could see a Void Fist here. Policy Debate will come out now. So we are not in... Ooh, Defend Your Honor, okay. And Voice is off currently because of the fact that this Kuni Silencer just got honored. So... Alright, we see a 5-bid come up from Baltus. That's nice. He actually wins the Defend Your Honor for that. And now he gets to bid for a Policy Debate. So 2 Void Fist actually, so I think this Masterpiece Painter is going to go bye-bye. But he could have a voice now on, thanks to Q and Kikita being activated. Unfortunate that he didn't get to Policy Debate with Kunan, because then he could have taken both these Void Fists. For those of you just joining, this is top 16 of the London Legion tournament. This was a continuation of the tournament from yesterday. This is our top cut. We're in top 16 right now, and I'll be covering the lower half of the bracket. If you guys want to check out the other action, it's going to be on Steelfur Stream at Steelfur Live. So you can throw up both if you want to. Tune into both of us. I don't know how to do the squad streaming thing, but we might consider doing that for next time. That way we have as many matches as possible. DYH comes out for the Void Fist, but Balthus has to bid 1 because his honor's too low. So this Masterpiece Painter is going to get sent home. No break on the Upholding Authority. I think Balthus is probably okay with that, honestly. He is able to deny the Void Ring, which is the most important part here. That saves the Kuanon. And we take a look at his hand real quick to see, can Kisada or someone else get big enough on military to, to bonk this Kuanon. This Kuanon is definitely a big thorn in his side right now. We're going to see political air attack over here. So note that for J Tetsubo, you do have to be bigger. So Banzai plus J Tetsubo plus the Subterranean Guile. That would be enough to make Kisada equal to Kuanon, but not bigger. Or, well, no, sorry, the Banzai would make him bigger, but I would say that there's a pretty good chance that Balthus has a Banzai of his own. Hello in the chat to Luke. Thank you for joining me on this lovely morning. Alright, so we're going to see an air conflict at Meditations. And we're going to see no defense here. So that's actually kind of not great. Because now Balthus is at 4 honor. And at 4 honor, it becomes very difficult to duel in duels that you need to win, but you're not already in winning position, right? Like if you're not in a bully duel situation, you're gonna actually have to spend honor, and it's not great. I believe that Pablo does have watch commanders in this deck, which they're not in his hand right now, but they could very well come into play in future conflicts. All right, so. Province-wise, I forgot to look at the row exactly, but we saw Fertile Fields, we saw Shameful Display, and we saw Upholding Authority. So there are Lustrous Forge. Okay, this could actually find him the Watch Commander. He does already have both J Tetsubos in his hand, and that would be the best target. But it looks like it only finds a fan, so the fan's going to go on the Kuni Silencer. Curious here that Balthus didn't attack with Kuanon. We're going to see double defense here. This is in fact Kuanon's last leg. So after this turn he's going to lose a fate, and then that'll be it for him, unless we do see the Pledge of Loyalty come up. Thanks for the follow, Gomsh. Glad to be bringing y'all some L5R action today. If anybody was wondering, we are still going to have L5R Lounge today. It'll be later this afternoon. I have not announced the participants yet, but it should be a pretty good one. J Tetsubo going to come out now on Kisada. That's going to be able to bonk this Doji Challenger. So maybe a little bit of an errant attack for Balthus here. He tries to pull with the Challenger. Alright, she's gonna get bonked. Kuni Silencer also we need to worry about here too. The Silencer is at 5 with another J Tetsubo on, and then I'll put him at 8, and so that's 8 for Void Fisting. Alright, so no conflict here for Pablo. He did have the mountain on that Kuni Silencer, so he could have made a counterattack if he wanted, but you know, both these are pretty low value, and I think you just lose the conflict to Kuanon here. Alright, so we are going to see the flip here. Okay, we do have the Daidoji Marketplace here, and if this is if this is the correct province, then we're going to see Kuanon stick around for another turn. Disciple of Shinsei comes out. This is pretty cool. It's not going to have any impact currently, but it will in a little bit. It'll be able to take off some of these attachments from these other characters. Granted, one or both of them are going to be leaving play anyway. Alright, 5-1 bid. Put in Balthus back in good honor territory. He didn't buy the Netsu here, which is confusing, I guess. I feel like I would have just bought the Netsu so that way you can prevent the Witch Hunter from activating. Also, there's a Funeral Pyre too, so you can stop both these things with the purchased Netsu. I don't know what else you're doing with 6 Fate anyway. Alright, so the Marketplace reveals Shameful Display. I guess Balthus' hope is that by revealing Shameful, you sort of like make Pablo afraid of the fact that maybe you don't want to attack that. You don't want to attack I mean, meditation is definitely juicy, and so I think Balthus maybe should consider letting that break. But the hope, I guess, is that Pablo attacks into the Pledge of Loyalty on accident, and then Baltus is actually able to defend that one. Yeah, he isn't playing Rival, so I'm not sure why no Netsu. Yeah, I have no idea, honestly. His conflict deck is not that expensive. So while Baltus was making some headway early, it looks like Pablo has sufficiently stabilized, and this is a pretty impressive board right now. A lot of it will be going away unless he has rebuild. There are, in fact, 2 Iron Mines already consumed, but 0 rebuilds consumed. We saw his hand earlier. 5 more cards have, or 5 or 6 more cards actually have shown up since then. So one of those could be a rebuild. He didn't have any rebuilds in his opening, whatever number of cards. And there are 3 in his deck, so the chances of him drawing a rebuild are pretty high at this point in time. Here is the conflict at the Meditations. Baltus thinking about double defense here. It is a water conflict, so that means that Kuanon and Masterpiece Painter are going to have to defend. One thing of note is that even if he uses something like Return to Defense and he loses, Quesada can use, or Pablo can use the water ring to go ahead and bow Kuanon, or whichever one he chooses. So with his defense, we see 15 skill. We do know that that Pablo has a Bonsai in hand, so if he wants to go over the top, then he can do that. Masterpiece Painter right now is just going to go ahead and burn the Quesada action. Watch Commander now comes out. Alright, so Bonsai now for Kuanon. He's going to go ahead and use Defend Your Honor. And Quesada right now is actually bigger than Kuanon, so Defend Your Honor back to Quesada. So we have a 13 to 12. For the first bid, we see 1 to 1. And now I actually highly expect Baltus to... Oh, he's going to use the Dragon Tattoo to do it again? I expect him to bid like 3 here. Let's see if Pablo's wise to it. Oh no, he bid 1. So he's gonna lose another honor here. I don't know what he's trying to do. I feel like he should probably just win the duel. So maybe the 3 bid will come out here, but that'll put him down to yeah, there it is. Okay, it's gonna put him down to 3. With this other Bonsai being resolved. This is a weird conflict to try to win. I don't... oh, I guess he has keepers, right? So there are 2 keepers in his bin. So pass from Pablo. I mean, I think he's satisfied. He just drained like 6 honor from Baltus in one conflict. So Meditations is going to remove the Fate from Quesada. Whatever. We know he has another reprieve, and probably another rebuild at some point, or probably a rebuild. Too bad that Crane has no way to steal steal attachments or steal holdings. He can keep this Kuon around forever if that was the case. But another problem with this is that okay, yes, yeah, you win the you bow Quesada for some reason. Not gonna really do anything there. And honestly, you know, not buying the Netsu now is really gonna come back to bite him because now you can't. Yeah, there's the rebuild. So the rebuild on the Iron Mine now on upholding. Had he bought the Netsu, he could at least stop the restand from the Witch Hunter. Let go to discard Watch Commander. Okay. And I think now, actually, he might move Kuon out of the conflict. But if he does that, he risks having the Witch Hunter stand the Quesada back up. So again, not buying the Netsu, which really, it really might be coming back to bite him in the butt. And yeah, we are going to see this line of play, I think. I think this is you have to do this if you're Pablo. Yeah, you go ahead and sack that Envoy. Now you stand... Oh, story defeat on the Quesada. Nice, okay. Oh, but a Defender on her. Oh, man. And no voice available for Baltus, I think. So yeah, it's going to be a break there. Kuonon's going to get bowed here, and I think this is probably going to be game for Balthus. Double keepers come out. So that seems like a pretty slick draw from Pablo there. It sounds like his draw was probably like rebuild, 2 DYH, and probably a couple other things too, I'm sure. Some other decent stuff. It would be really funny if he actually drew the Defender Honor off of the Envoy Sacrifice. So conflict time at the Illustrious Forge. This guy's just going to get blown away. Actually, he's just going to lose the conflict by naturally, I think. It's going to be 5 to 7, 8 with the favor. And this Venerable Fortunist actually can go ahead and just print some money from for Baltus here. This is a really sick card. I really like this card a lot. Oh my god, there's a Jade Tetsubo on it too. That is rough. So he tries the Kakita Dojo. It's not gonna work this time. What does the character actually do? After this character wins a conflict as a defender, must return. Okay, so it's blank. Sort of. So that's two cards here. Cunning Negotiator is going to go ahead and duel. Try to trigger this this Illustrious Forge. But this doesn't have an action ability, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, so no characters left, and we know that Baltus doesn't have any conflict characters, and he also doesn't have any way to stand any of these guys. So this is going to be a free attack in. He's not going to die immediately, because he can gain an honor from the Cunning Negotiator. But he will die at a later point in time. Earthring makes Baltus discard a new name. Reprieve comes out on the Silencer. We have an Iron Mine for Casada. Actually, Baltus is going to gain 3 honor here. That's a decent amount. But I think he's just going to start losing on board. And that's all 3 Kuanons. And so his game plan is sort of shot at this point in time. Baltus saying, I think I'm out of outs. Yeah, I would say most likely. Kindred, thank you for subscribing with Twitch Prime. Much appreciated. I need to work on my notifications and stuff. I actually just got approved for affiliate the other day. So I need to go through this with like all this like approval process stuff for everything. Let me see if my emote is ready. I submitted it yesterday. It does take a while, I know that. Oh no, it's still pending right now. Kindred said, just learning the game and your videos have been a godsend. Thanks for the work. By the way, I watched the entire stream yesterday too. Thank you so much. Yeah, I really want to do this. I'm glad that someone has said this because one of the things that I've noticed is that there's been a pretty big lack of, or at least for a while, there was a good lack of LFR content in the game, at least for video content. So I wanted to just put more content out there, and whether it's just having people explain decks or streaming some tournament action, then I want to do what I can just to help this game stay alive and healthy during this quarantine period especially. So thank you for subscribing, and let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. I'll be free. I will be happy to answer them whenever. Alright, so that's going to be a game. Osan takes the seppuku route and just kills himself in the bid by bidding 5 here. So that match is going to be ended. Let's take a look and see if there's anything else on the other side of the bracket. I think that was the last match of the lower half. So we'll see if we